Joining me, I believe he is from Sweden.
I am from Sweden, yes.
Okay, do me a favor. I'm going to say your name very English. I want you to say it very Swedish. Say it.
Per Sjofors.
That's how you would say it in Swedish?
That's how we say
How
it.
do Americans say it?
Any which way.
No, just how do you hear your name being said?
I try to make it easier by saying Per Sjofors.
Sjofors.
like chauffeur in the
No,
driving
Sjofors.
seat.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Per, so you have an interesting gig. Your job is to understand price sensitivity.
That's right. Yeah,
Right? That's a real business.
Absolutely, it is a real business.
Because it could either make or break any business.
There's statistics out there saying that 80% of startup companies fails because of poor pricing.
80%.
80%.
See, it amazes me, like when I go to even an amusement park, how did Disney World come up with that ticket price? Right? And I know it's something that took a long time for them to figure out,
Yep.
but it works, right? They're not too high, too low.
It works always when you have lots of time, because you can do trial and error. You can test different things. It can take 10 years, before you get it almost right.
10 years.
And
you've seen this happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
all the time.
Pierre, people want to find out more. What's your company name?
My company name, I have two companies actually.
Which one do you want us to know? Pick one.
Atenga.
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 And what happens over at Atenga?
We go out and we measure willingness to pay, willingness to buy, and price drivers, decision landscape, and we turn this into pricing strategies for companies that immediately, and I'm talking immediately, affects profitability and sales level.
So let's try something very simple, because you actually did this demonstration earlier in front of an audience, and that was price sensitivity all around the online streaming services.
Yes.
Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix. Was that all three of them, or was there another one?
No, there was one more.
There was one.
Yeah,
No.
HBO.
HBO Go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and they're all very popular. Matter of fact, we recently just saw Woody Allen actually said he's going to create his own episodic on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty
really
amazing,
cool.
actually,
yeah,
right?
It's really cool.
So as you look at that playing field, you took four very prominent names.
Yep.
One kind of already has an established price, being Netflix.
Yes.
Right? Netflix is, I don't know what Netflix is. Is it $14.95 or is it $9.95?
No. It is $8.99.
$8.99.
Yeah.
$8.99. But I know for $8.99 I get Netflix.
Yes.
Where Amazon Prime, I pay for a service that also throws something in.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And then HBO, I know when I pay for HBO, I get it online, plus I also get it streamed on television.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's kind of discombobulated.
Yes.
So how would you ask the question, which should be the right prices for those platforms? How do you go about doing that?
Well, there are certain methods you can use to ask people questions, what they're willing to pay for certain things.
Okay.
Or for certain benefits. If you bring out a new product, you need to measure for the benefit.
Absolutely.
In this case, we asked people, about 1,500 people, what they were willing to pay unaided, and it's a statistical process afterwards.
It's a series of questions, correct?
Yes.
How many questions do you think generally
Four
take?
questions.
Just that's it?
Yeah, 4 questions.
So a pool of 1,500 people, 4 questions could help you get
Yes.
a real good indicator what
Absolutely.
prices.
Absolutely.
Now, what was surprising was the prices people are willing to pay for streaming services.
Absolutely. The two things that are really, really interesting in this study is that Netflix and Amazon, both of them can price up to $14.99 without losing any market share.
Up to $15, so they can improve. What are they right now? So $80, 108. I think they're 100. So they're both about $10 a month on an average.
Yeah.
So they can increase by 50%.
Absolutely. Without losing market share. Okay.
That's amazing.
And interesting is that Hulu cannot do this. Hulu can only go up to $9.99.
Where are they right now? $6?
No, they're also $8.99.
So if they would increase their price, they would possibly have degradation or they would erode.
Meaning that they have a value proposition that is not as strong as those of Amazon and those of Netflix.
So those 4 companies, HBO, Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu, they would look at your numbers, one, on a competitive basis, right? And 2, for themselves, saying, wait, we are at that sweet spot, or maybe we can do some movement.
Yes, exactly.
And why wouldn't not HBO, why wouldn't a Netflix or an Amazon Prime make that modification?
Because they're scared.
But isn't the old saying, if I have the knowledge, it gives me the courage to take the action?
Yeah, but they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Okay.
It's going to be very interesting. I think Netflix have their earnings calls on the 20th. And it's going to be very interesting to see what they say about subscriber growth and so forth.
Maybe Reed might make a modification based upon...
Maybe they should.
So what I would like to do is, with all this information you have, let's figure out for a business out there how they can determine what a price should be for something. Okay? And let's just give another example that might be surprising, where a higher price still might attract an audience. And you and I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And that is?
Well, let me tell you a story, okay? Story about wine.
Wine, okay.
I was, and this is one of the reasons I started this business, I was up in the Paseo area, and I found this little vineyard doing only Zinfandel. And the wines there were much more expensive than anywhere else. They were like $50-$60. And I said to the guy, this is really expensive. And he said, yes, last year I was like everybody else and I didn't sell out. So this year I doubled my prices and I sold out in 3 weeks.
Same product.
Same product.
Same product, double the prices and sold it all out.
Because price is your most important message of the quality you deliver.
So price doesn't equate to scarcity, but quality.
Yeah.
Pierre, we were mentioning earlier wine, and somebody said, hey, I want to mark it up 3 to 4 times and sold all the inventory. The product never changed, but the perception changed.
Absolutely, because the price of your product or your service is the most powerful marketing message of the quality and the benefit.
Okay. It sounds scary, meaning this. If I'm a lawyer and I generally charge $250 an hour, and I've heard this, by the way.
Yeah.
If I double my hourly fee to $500, I get more business.
Yes.
I've heard this.
Yes.
But making that gigantic jump,
yes,
it's a perception thing, right?
Absolutely. Many companies, many executives are timid when it comes to pricing. They don't believe themselves. They don't believe that they bring to their customers the value that the customers perceive.
And Apple's a great example.
Apple is a great example.
It's a computer.
Yeah.
But it's 3 times more than its competitors.
Absolutely. Because Apple decides to not sell to the customers who are price sensitive. They are selling to the customers who like the specific differentiators, the quality, the integration, and so forth. And they say no to the people who wants a low price.
Yeah, you're not our customer.
You are not our customer. If you want a low price, go and buy an Acer or a Dell or something, not an Apple.
So let's get out of hardware and wine and let's be more generic. Is there a way that we can ask ourselves certain questions or our audience certain questions to figure out what the right price is?
There's something, it's called the Van Westendorp price sensitivity
meter.
That's
what I thought it was called.
Yeah. Okay, of course. And you ask 4 very simple questions. You describe the product or the service in very detail. Okay. And then you ask, at what price is this so cheap that you think the quality is too bad? It's not good enough.
Okay. This is the bottom.
That's the bottom
of the question. Seriously, right? Because you're finding out what this basement is.
Absolutely. Okay. And then you ask, at what price is the price too high?
Okay.
So it's just out of the question.
So now that's our ceiling.
Exactly.
Well, it's beyond our ceiling.
It's beyond the ceiling.
Okay, got it.
And then you ask 2 questions. At which price would this be a great bargain? And at which price would this be just about obtainable? So
you have the midpoint, and then you have your ceiling.
Yeah. And if you ask enough people this, of your customers, and you subject the answers to statistical analysis, you will get your optimum price point.
And this is what you do at your business?
That's what we do in our business.
So companies hire you.
Absolutely.
Do you use existing customers or should you go off to a different pool?
First of all, you ask these questions anonymously because otherwise they'll lie to you.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
So you have to use a third party.
Okay.
And we use customers to our clients. We use non-customers and people who doesn't even know that this company exists.
And you can do this for anything, right?
Anything. We stem cells, shovels,
You
rear axles
You just
for
put stem cells and shovels together. I've never heard that before. That's impressive.
Rear axles for trucks.
Pierre's company is atenga.com. This is exactly what they do for pricing mechanisms. You need to find out what the right price is. This is where he finds it. So let's say, for example, we here at Business Rockstars want to do a webinar on something, okay?
Yep.
And you know a lot of our people like Ken Cragen. You know Ken, right? Yeah. Let's say Ken Cragen is going to do a webinar on his 3 threes mechanism. He does this thing. How would we at Business Rockstars, and I'm just using us as an example, we would ask those 4 questions to find out what the right price is for the webinar?
Yeah. There's a little bit more. You need to know that the audience is the right audience and so forth.
I love this.
But and then you need to, again, subject the answers to this statistical analysis. And then you have the answer.
So a movie theater we go to, the AMCs, now we have the iPix. I'm not sure if you've ever been there.
No.
It's $25 a seat to go see a movie.
Wow.
That place is always maxed out. So they have figured that out, probably not doing it your way, but maybe by hit or miss after a while.
Absolutely. And then it's much more costly to do.
It's because time.
Yeah.
Right?
It takes a long time during which you either leave money on the table or you don't sell enough.
Okay. So people that are listening right now, they should, these 4 questions, ask their customers, how big of a base do you need to really get a good baseline? Or pools?
It really depends a little bit. You want to have, for statistical significance, the number is 96. What's that mean? 96 means that you have 95% confidence factor plus minus 5%. So you want to have 96 customers, 96 non-customers, 96 of people who doesn't even know you exist.
Wow. So you need a baseline of about 300.
Yeah.
A baseline. Yeah. And the larger that pool gets, the more accurate the information becomes.
Absolutely, yeah. But then you need to segment this as well.
In what area?
Well, you talked about the movie theater.
Yes, movie theater.
Maybe you find that people who are looking for romantic movies have a different willingness to pay than those.
Valid point.
Than those
action or 3D.
Exactly.
So right now, people that are listening and they have, let's say, a restaurant or a dry cleaner or a delivery service, how can they take your methodology and apply it on what they're doing? And I'm saying that's the average business person that's out there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't know how to.
Well, really, the best use is to use a third party.
A third party would do this.
That'll do this for them.
This is what you do.
This is what we do. And
you do that.
And we have become possibly the leading company in the US on this.
Wow.
And it's fascinating.
Well, it is, because you get to see what maybe they weren't aware of.
It
blows my mind.
When most of the time, when people come to us saying we have a pricing problem, we do this work and we find out they have a marketing problem.
Oh, wow.
Their marketing is wrong. They're selling to the wrong people at the wrong price. So you fix that, then you fix the right price.
And this is, again, what you guys do.
Absolutely.
Why don't I hear about many companies like yours?
There are very few of them.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah.
Why? Because it sounds like this is a massive broken part of business.
So we did a study a couple of years ago where we asked a statistically significant number of American CEOs, what is the best way to increase profitability? 88%.
Great question.
88% says increase sales level.
Increase sales level.
Okay. 8% said cut cost.
Okay.
And the balance, which is 6% or 4%, said work with pricing. But the point is that you don't increase profitability by increasing sales. Because you're in the crowded market. You
have to add more sales force. You have to add more.
And pricing, you can often double your profitability in 3-4 weeks.
But you have to have a product that could withstand that price increase.
And that's what you measure.
That's it.
Yeah.
So go back to the lawyer.
Yeah.
The lawyer needs to make sure that here's the problem with the lawyer. The problem with the lawyer is the customers that he's probably working with at $250 an hour are probably the ones that can't afford $500 an hour.
Yes.
So doesn't he have to do a new marketing program to go after the people that could afford the $500?
Well, let's say if we talk about the lawyers specifically, location matters for lawyers.
Okay.
Okay. So here locally in Los Angeles, if you have your law firm in Beverly Hills or in Century City, you're $500.
Yes.
If you're in Van Nuys, it's $250.
Yeah, it gets cheaper. Or if you want, you could use a lawyer that's in, let's say, Tucson.
Yeah.
And it's even lower.
Yeah.
And you could do that.
So you can as a lawyer, and this is a value driver. Location is a value driver, okay, because it affects what people are willing to pay.
So Pierre, let me ask a very simple question. Did you do this pricing mechanism for you?
We have done, yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
Were you surprised now what the outcome was?
Yes, how much people were willing to pay for our service.
Was it more or less than you thought?
It was much more.
Did you make the modification?
Yes, we did.
And did you have to do a new rebranding or repositioning or remarketing?
No, we didn't. So, but
I think what you're doing right now is a great use case for businesses. I wonder if there's a way we can get different businesses to work with you from the show before and after.
That'll be great.
What they thought they should be charging and what they should be charging and where it could actually enhance the business. Are you up for that?
Absolutely.
All right. So again, if people want to find out more, what's the website?
Atanga.com.
Atanga.com.
Yep.
What's that mean?
The real story is that you need a name for your business,
That wasn't taken.
So I took my wife's name and I turned it backwards.
Really?
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty cool name, man. That's a good reverse name.
But it happened to mean rely in Spanish.
Oh, wow. You're very fortunate. Last thing, about 30 seconds. Has there been anybody that's overpriced something?
Yes.
And it totally failed? Any brands that we might be connected with or no?
Yeah, but I can't tell you.
No, nothing public?
Not people that overpriced, but we have clients who overpriced and we corrected the price to where it should be,
So
and
they
started to grow 5% a month.